Hey, Crosspointe family and anybody else that may be joining in on this video. So last week, Daniel introduced this new segment video, if you will, but we're gonna call What's the Point? So each week we'll come in and we'll share something to do with last week's sermon or the sermon coming up. It works well definitely for Ecclesiastes because ultimately what the preacher's asking is, what's the point of all things? And so now we will be in week 4 of our study through the book of Ecclesiastes, where the first 2 weeks we kind of set up with the introduction or the prologue into the book to where the preacher asks the question, is there any gain? At the end of all of our life, is there any gain that man could speak for his work under the sun? And so he concluded ultimately that all is vanity, that the world just continues to go. It's almost like there's a frustration that he's experiencing where he's now going to set out to find that gain. And so last week, Paul walked us through the end of chapter 1 where the preacher begins to pursue wisdom and understanding, and he gained it all. There was no stone left unturned. There was no mountain peak left unclimbed, as Paul mentioned. And at the end of his pursuit, he said these words, "What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be counted." Ultimately, that even though he gained all the knowledge possible to him, there was still something missing. That all the knowledge of man could not make straight that which is crooked, and that which is not there can't be counted. So he cries out again, all is vanity, all is hevel, all is frustrating, knowing all that he knew, there was nothing he could do about it. In chapter 2, where we'll be this Sunday, he begins another pursuit, and it's the pursuit of pleasure. And it's almost like he's trying to escape his frustration of the hevel. And he's trying to find the gain in if the life that we have is all there is. We live, we die, generation comes, generation goes. It's almost like he's saying, well, maybe the answer is we just live it up with the time that we have. I've got a pretty bad habit when people ask me, hey, how are things going? My just answer is always, I'm living the dream. And sometimes I say stuff like, it may not be my dream, but it's somebody's dream. When we get to chapter 2, the first 11 verses, it seems as if the preacher is living the dream. As he pursues pleasure, he says to his heart, I'm not going to keep anything from you. Whatever your heart desires, you are going to partake in. If it's things to escape his reality, if it's possessions or passion or prestige, whatever it is, he's going to seek after it and try to get a hold of it. Because maybe that is the purpose of life, is just to enjoy it. A very hedonistic approach that the chief end of man is just to enjoy his time, to seek pleasure. And what we'll see at the end is that he goes, just like chasing after the wind. It seems like I could grab it, but Monday morning still came. In the moment, it may have been living it up in the party, but he had to wake up the next morning and he was no longer satisfied. It was constantly going, as we saw in chapter 1. No eye is satisfied with seeing, and no ear is satisfied with hearing. And so this Sunday, we're going to walk through his pursuit. And then we're going to see ultimately what he says about it whenever he does achieve it all. And then from that, is there any hope that we can gain in understanding pleasure? We're going to look at the view of pleasure from under the sun, the perversion of pleasure, if you will. And then we'll see the purpose of pleasure that God has given, that God created a world full of pleasure. But because of sin, it's been perverted. So how can we reclaim and understand what the purpose of pleasure is? So anyway, hope to see you Sunday and invite somebody. We'll be here at 10 o'clock. Have a good week.